every time we say goodbye, they all see that it's a lie. 'Cause we always give it one last try. Yeah, you've watched me break 1,000 times. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't. That's how it goes. Don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind so I get by. I just wanna be happy, happy tonight. Happier tonight. Happier tonight. Can't be waiting for you in the morning. I'ma leave without giving a warning. I'ma leave without giving a. But every time we say goodbye, we all know that it's a lie. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't. That's how it goes. Don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind so I get by. I just wanna be happy, happy tonight. Happier tonight. Happier tonight. Can't be waiting for you in the morning. I'ma leave without giving a warning. I'ma leave without giving a. But every time we say goodbye, we all know that it's a lie. I just wanna be happy.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another live stream. I hope you are all well. Thank you all for joining me. Just before we get into the usual bits, if you don't follow me over on Twitter already, please make sure you go and do so. The link will be in the description down below. But yeah, all my useful stuff, where I answer a lot of your guys' questions over on there. So if you don't follow me over on there, make sure you go and do so. But let's get straight into the video. Just run through my team from last week. If you guys haven't seen my team selection video where I go through what I got last week, make sure you go and do that after this. But say hello in the chat and I will make sure to do the usual hellos and shout outs in just a minute. So we've got some exciting stuff to get through today, but let's start off with my bench boost. So if any of you guys didn't know, I played my bench boost in Gameweek 26. I scored 117 points, which gave me a game week rank of 85,000. So a massive green arrow for me, moved me up from 45k to 15k. So a chip really well played. The chip itself gained me about 19 points. So happy enough with that. The aim for a bench boost is always 16. So I beat the 16 point bench boost target by 3. So happy enough with that. Of course, slightly annoying that I had Mitchell on my bench and Palace kept 2 clean sheets and he didn't play even a single minute. Didn't start either of them. He seemed to have got dropped with a bit of a knock and then was out of the squad for the second game. Although the players that I looked to bring in, Tete scored 6, but it would have been a -4 to bring him in. So that's only a 2 point difference. And then the left back, Thomas of Leicester, who didn't score, would have been worse off than having Mitchell. I think he scored maybe 0 overall, maybe 1. So yeah, I mean, the transfers that I would have made for him didn't make much difference. So, but yeah, just would have liked to have played in one of those 2 games. But let's say hello to you all and let me know how you guys got on in game week 26. So we've got Mark, you've got Teddy, Ayum, Simpy, Mark, Matthew, Samuli, it's Benji, we've got Paul, we've got Newton. Who else have we got? We've got Cooper, we've got Ayush, we've got Actor Star, we've got Kimmy, we've got Owned, we've got Matt, triple captain Sterling. That's very unfortunate. I don't know how many points he got. I mean, virtually none. No, he didn't get any attacking returns, but in terms of appearance points, can't have been more than 4, can it? Did he start both games? I can't remember. But yeah. I am Max, welcome. Daniel, fuming at triple captain Kane. Could have been so much more, but looking at the way people have used their triple captainship this season, the 2 big double game weeks, I think that Kane is one of the best returns we've had. So I wouldn't go complaining. I think a lot of people are worse off with their captain picks than you are. So Newton 85, FPL Baggio 77. Okay, unfortunate there. Gregory, triple captain Fernandez. Yeah, not a good game week for triple captains. Bench boost seems to have done all right for people. People have, maybe an Aston Villa defender, maybe a Fulham defender in there as well. So it's done well enough bench boost wise for a lot of people, except if you had triple leads on it, which I know some people did. Your captain Son got 126. Amazing score. Really well done there. Mark 114. Oka, welcome. Kindly advise who to bench: Bamford, Cresswell, DCL, or Luca Dean. If I had to bench one of them, I'd bench Luca Dean. For me, I expect Chelsea to score this week. I know Everton and Chelsea have looked good defensively, but not offensively. But I'd still start DCL over Dean this week. So yeah, that's what I'm going with. Bertrand Traore as a Barnes replacement. I probably wouldn't. I probably would stay clear of the Aston Villa midfielders, and the reason for it is when Grealish comes back, we don't quite know who it's going to be that keeps their place and who it is that misses out, because El Ghazi's looked really good, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him keep his place and to see Bertrand Traore drop out. So I wouldn't go on Bertrand Traore until we see what happens with Grealish coming back in. Lucas Moura, a good option. I can't advocate bringing Lucas Moura. I know he's had a few returns in recent weeks, but Bale is definitely first choice now. I expect Lucas Moura to play this weekend and be able to get a rest, but yeah, it's a very rotation risk position that on the right wing for Tottenham. So if you guys are enjoying, just before we get into a few more of your questions, if you could drop a like on the stream as well, just as we get started, that would be really appreciated. Try and get the stream shared a little bit around more while we're going live. That would be great. And anyone new, of course, if you do subscribe during the stream, there should be a little on-stream notification as well. But yeah, just drop a like on it as well. That'd be great. Would I take Bruno or Salah out for Son? It depends how you're going to get one of them back in. I'd probably, if I had to ditch one, I'd ditch Bruno. Thoughts on Sterling captaincy, as you also have KDB. I'd prefer to captain KDB. I think there's that rotation risk now. Foden's not played either of those games in the most recent game week, so I expect him to start at least one, and probably on the wing. With Mahrez playing so well, Mahrez will probably start one. I wouldn't be confident that Sterling starts both the 2 games. I don't think we can be overly confident that any City player plays both games. I think Diaz is about the only one we can say with some solidity that he's going to play both. But even that Southampton game, looking at the way they've played, I'm sure Pep could use it as a way to rest Diaz. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if there's a rest for Diaz in one of those 2. Do I think McCarthy will start? No. So I think it will be Foster, at least for the first of the 2 games. Yeah. Nuclear Atoms, 20 points from a bench boost is definitely worth it. I'd be happy with those returns. I think the aim is always 16. So yeah, anything over 16 is a good return from your bench boost. So this is my team for next week. So I've got Lookman, Dean, and then Mitchell benched, Ariola bench, starting Martinez over him. I'm rolling my free transfer this week. There's no, unless we get, injury news that someone's, picked up a really bad injury, I don't plan on making any transfers. Gundogan, my captain, Cancelo, my vice captain, has to be on a City player for me. I know the likes of Kane has a really strong single fixture, but I've got to take the gamble on one of my City players playing both. So yeah, I've gone with Gundogan out of the three of them so far. It's a tough one. I expect all three to start against United. It's just which of them get the Southampton game, which is a tough one. The new house is good, so if any of you guys watch me regularly, you will know that the background is completely different to what you're used to and what's normally there. So last weekend I moved, so the videos this week and this stream is coming from a new location. You always worry that how fast your internet's going to be, so it seems to be holding up. It seems to be nice and fast as well. I've got Ethernet into my laptop because I'm so far away from the Wi-Fi, but it seems to be all well and fine. What takeaway tonight? Jacob is asking. So I'm actually having a Chinese tonight. I haven't had a Chinese in so long. So yeah, I'm going with that. Will Antonio outscore Bruno by 4 points this week? That's tough. By 4, that would be a goal for Antonio and a blank for Bruno. I'd probably, if it's a -4 to get Antonio, or you just start Fernandes, I'd start Fernandes. So yeah, am I fully set up in the new room? So yeah, I work from home, so I have to set up my internet. I have to set up my screen that I then use to stream on as well. So yeah, all set up. All I think is fine. I've got my working from home stuff around me, but yeah, quite like it. Got a bit more of a view than I used to. So who to transfer in? Barnes, Saka, Lingard, or Bertrand Traore? Only need them until game week 31. It depends. I like Lingard the most out of those, but you've got to know that he can't play in game week 28. If you've got an okay bench, that you can bench him in game week 28 when he plays United and he can't play, then great. I would go with Lingard. Do you buy Lingard or Mount? Again, it depends what you're doing in game week 29. If you need that player to play in game week 29, then it's Lingard. If you don't, then it's probably Mason Mount. Chinese, that's a bigger curveball than McCarthy being dropped. I know, it's a bit of a shock. I just haven't had one in so long. I've had quite a lot of pizza recently that I thought, you know what, let's go and try something different. We'll work hard in 31 so I can get Bruno back then if I want to. Fair enough. I think a lot of people are looking along the same lines because he plays City, then he plays West Ham, then he blanks, then he plays Brighton. Like, realistically, the player that you're bringing in, if they play in game week 29, chances are that Bruno will probably, even if he returns in 2 of those 3, West Ham, Brighton and City, he returns and blanks in only 1 of those, he's still blanking in 2 of the 4 game weeks. Whereas if you bring in someone from Aubameyang, for example, who's someone I've considered bringing in for him, then I definitely, Aubameyang has Burnley. He plays in game week 29, plays in 30. Like, Aubameyang needs 2 returns. I imagine Aubameyang will match Bruno over those game weeks. So it is a potential for me to do Fernandes to Aubameyang this game week. It's a potential. But there is always that concern with Arsenal and their Europa League that he doesn't get as many starts as he should. I haven't upgraded my streaming setup. Really, it's the same as it was. I stream off my laptop, so there's a limit to how much I can upgrade. I do want to get a camera. It's the next thing I'm trying to wait to invest in, I think. But at the moment, I don't know if there's anything you guys think that needs upgrading. I know a lot of streamers have green screens, and I could have one of them behind me. But yeah, I have to take it up and put it back down, because I work from home in the same place, so it's a bit much for me to do that, when I'm recording and stuff like that. So at the moment, it's going to stick as it is. Start Forster or Martinez. Who's the Southampton first game against? I'd probably go with Martinez. That's tough. I'd probably go with Martinez. Sheffield United have scored in a lot of their matches recently. So yeah. What's my day job? So I work in marketing. Bruno out for Son. Yes, I mean over the next 3 game weeks, I'd be very surprised if Fernandes outscores Son between now and game week 29. So yeah, I would do that. Best under 5 mil defender for the next few game weeks. Again, a lot of this, guys, if you've got questions, let me know what your chip strategy is in game week 29, because if you need that player in game week 29, then I need to suggest a player that plays in that week. Whereas if not, then a Chelsea defender, Rudiger would be the one I'd go with. But if you need them to play in game week 29, then Dallas, if you don't have him, I still think, he's pretty essential for that game week. Dunk is one I'm looking at as well. So yeah, Rudiger cut price is definitely a good option. Bench Bamford or Ollie Watkins. I'd probably bench... It's tough. I'd probably bench Watkins because of the lack of Jack Grealish. Only reason you're hesitant taking Bruno out is, of course, I know there's the money tied up in it. Is the other thing. I am a Chelsea fan, but I still think Rudiger's a good option to buy. I'm not a big fan of him in real life. He's looked better recently, but we know what he's capable of in terms of having poor bits. So yeah, something on that wall potentially. Yeah, I could get a little, but then again, I've got to put it up and take it down every time. But yeah, that's interesting. Something I could put here maybe, a stream or something. JBT, welcome. You really like Lingard again? Yeah, really good. Just got to have that in your mind that he can't play in game at 28, but I think he's a really nice option. Bruno and Dean out for KDB and Reguilon for a -4. Yes, there's always Reguilon is a rotation risk, and he always will be. We saw that in the game week, and there's a chance that Dean has a double game week in game week 28. Now it seems unlikely. It seems the chance of it happening getting smaller and smaller, but it's still a possibility. So if you did that, this week, and then it got announced, you'd kick yourself that you sold Luca Dean. So I don't know if there's another way you can fund the Bruno to KDB move. Thought of hitting the bench boost with triple leads. I just think West Ham have been really good, and I don't think it's as easy in a fixture as maybe people make out. So I'm not sure I'd necessarily want to do that. Yes, that is one thing I wanted to get to. So if we go and have a look, let me just hide that a sec. If you guys, while I'm pulling this up, 100 of you are in here already. That's really good, but only 30 likes as well. So please drop the like on the video if you could do that now. We could get up to 50 likes before we have a quick look at the stream league. So as you all know, we have a league for this stream where every month we give away £5 to that monthly winner, and we have just finished February, so we can have a look at who our monthly winner is. The monthly winner is Okar Kayam. So if you're in here, drop it in the comments, say hello. If you are watching, congratulations on winning £5, or you can message me over on Twitter as well if you're watching this on the replay or you don't have the chat. Let me know, and you can claim your £5, and we will send over a voucher to you, or do that yourself. So congratulations. Very unknown, the guys looking at second, third, fourth. Look how much they scored, but Okar built up such a lead going into that final game week that congratulations. Oh, he's in the chat. Well done. Everyone put a little sort of congratulations to Okar, who's just said wow in the chat. Well done. Message me on Twitter if you can. My Twitter's in the description if you don't follow me already, and we will sort out your £5 voucher. If you guys aren't in it already, the link is on the top, the code is on the top of the screen. So just take a screenshot and go and join that after the stream. There'll be a new competition running in March, starting this weekend. The new competition starting this weekend. So make sure if you're not in it already to go and join. You want to see the Arsenal predicted lineup? Yes, we have. They've all gone up this evening. this is what he's gone with at the moment. So, quote to notes, Smith Rowe had a scan and is in a bit of discomfort. We don't really predict him to start. And then Olympiacos on Thursday and then Spurs on Sunday is worth taking into account. Although the players like Aubameyang and Saka had a bit of a rest last weekend, so we probably expect them to come back into the starting lineup for this weekend. Will I sell Fernandes and Salah? Salah for me is still a keep. His numbers he's putting up are still good, and he's got the fixtures. Fernandes, unless you've got a really good option to bring in his place, then potentially sell him. But it's a bit of a luxury transfer for me at the moment. Are Alba rotation concerns? Yeah, he is a bit of a rotation concern. The thing is, I expect him to play this weekend, and then I expect him to play Game Week 29 because after Game Week 29 it's international break, and it's West Ham, it's a London derby, so I kind of expect him to play Burnley and then 29. So I kind of expect Aubameyang to play all of the next three. He's had his rest, so I'd be very surprised if he got benched again. Then he plays Spurs, and now he's going to play in the London derby. And then the following weekend against West Ham, he could be rested, but it's then the international break after that. So is he really going to get a rest there, or are they going to give him the international break off? You're an Arsenal fan, you really want to bring in Saka. We have Olympiacos twice and Spurs once in a week. Yeah, well, I suppose what I've just said probably plays into the path of Saka a little bit as well. Yes, there'll be some rotation, but I feel like they've had their rest a little bit. Do I think Diaz will play both games? I reckon there's about an 80% chance he does. Minimum number of players for Game Week 29. So I was thinking about this. So I currently I'm planning on putting out 10. And if I put out 10, I could take a -4 to get to 11. I think you need 7 good ones, or 8 with a bit of rubbish in there as well. So yeah, 7 or 8 is what I'd probably be aiming for minimum. 7, if you've got 7, really strong players, then okay. I wouldn't want to be going down to your 6, your 5s. 7 is probably a minimum for me. Evening to FPL Fan Show. Welcome. Are you guys streaming later? I know you said you might be. So if not, I will be joining that while I have my Chinese. Got a VIP in the chat. Absolutely. Is it worth taking out Bruno to get Kane for Game Week 29? If it's the only way you can get Kane, then yes. And if you can get him this week while Kane plays Palace and Bruno plays City, because game weeks 28, 27, 28, 29, those 3 game weeks, I expect Kane to outscore Bruno. Now, I don't love selling Bruno, but if that's the move you have to make, then yes. Start Lloris or Martinez. I'd probably start Lloris out of the 2 of them. Lingard, Jota, Saka or Traore in for Barnes. So again, I like Lingard the most if you can bench him in Game Week 28. If your bench is strong enough, then go for it. Go for it. Lingard is the one for me. You have Foden, Stones and Cancelo. I'd really potentially go with Foden, seeing as he didn't play either of those games in Game Week 26. So if you want to, yeah. Because your other 2 are Stones and Cancelo, and there's a lot of rotation risk between the 2 of them, I probably would go with Foden. Someone might come from that nearby door, so you might change your setup sooner. Yeah, but it's like it's a bedroom, so it doesn't go anywhere, so no one's going to come in. Who from my Leeds triple up should I play? Bamford, Dallas, or Rafinha. If you can only play one, I love Rafinha. If we have a look at some of his stats, like the last 10 game weeks, like expected points, Rafinha sits 3rd. Like per start, we take out low minute players. Totals. Rafinha, like the 3rd highest expected point out of any player in the league, is crazy. Like shots wise, You know, he's right up there. I think if we push it that way, like second for shots over the past 5 game weeks. Key passes, joint first with Luke Shaw. Big chances created, he's created joint first with Son. Shots inside the box, he drops a little bit, but he has had 10, which is only 1 less than these guys. So, yeah. So any of you guys who don't know, I write a... let me just hide this and I'll pull it up for you. That I write a differential article. Guys, come on, 109 of you and only 44 likes. We can't even hit 50. Go on, don't leave it. As I always say, it's completely free. The best way to support me, and don't leave it to someone else. There we go. Thank you. So this is Fantasy Football Hub. There is a link in the description which gives you 15% off. Now, my article here is completely free to read, but they have great stats and everything. If you go in the description, the link that you click there will take you to like a launch page. You can sign up from just £1.70 a month, which is literally nothing. It's like half a cup of coffee a month, and it really has. So I'm 15k at the moment. I make a lot of my decisions based off the stats I get there. So I really think it's worth, you know, just for £1.70 a month. It's such good value. But yeah, I write a differential article for them every week. So this week, sort of looking at the next 5 game weeks, so a defender not just for 1 week, but for the next 5. So we've got Azpilicueta. It's out of him and Rudiger. If you can afford to go up to Azpilicueta, the attacking threat he brings is worth it. Rafinha, I can't, like, his attacking numbers are crazy for the amount he costs. And then the other one is Timo Werner. Now, at some point, Werner is going to haul. The numbers that he's putting up are so good for forwards. Like, yeah, he just seems to be really underperforming some of what he's capable of doing. So, yeah, but that's up there. The link's on my Twitter if you want to go and read it in more detail. But, yeah, Rafinha's numbers are just crazy. Cool, yeah, so back to my team. This is how I am lining up. Timo got robbed. Yeah, I mean, I've got to understand that that's the rule. You know, I was a bit... it is Fantasy Football Hub, so there is a link in the description, so I don't know quite how I get this. Let me try and pull up the link in the description, and I'll post it in the chat, and that will give you 15% off. So let me just get that for you. Like the stream, everyone. We're at attracted. 1 FPL tutor, we might get another. Do I think on Bruno to Son and Barnes to Lings? Yeah, I like those. Yeah. Over the next weeks, you'll get good things from those transfers. So I cannot complain at that. Sorry, let me just. Yes, bruh. I'm coming with the link. Here we go. They're in the chat now. So click on that. We'll take you there. Take you to a launch page. There you go. It should be in the chat for you now. Bench 2 out of Rudiger, Lookman, DCL and Bamford. Lookman, I'd bench. I would be tempted to play DCL and Bamford. If you can't, then... Oh, yeah, let me pin the link. Let me pin that link. So I'd be tempted... If you can play both your forwards, I would. But if not, then bench DCL for Rudiger. Mateus Pereira, a good option in the next 2 weeks. Yeah. West Brom this weekend. It's a massive game between West Brom and Newcastle, especially with the injuries to Newcastle. I really can see West Brom getting something from them. Andy, welcome. Hope I'm well. Thank you very much. Bruno and Shaw out for Son, Bale and Reguilon. It would have to be Son for me. Easily don't go Bale over Son, just because of that rotation. Like the stream people, yeah, well said. But Reguilon is a bit of a rotation risk. There's always going to be that with them. And if you bring him in and he doesn't play game week 29, that's like feels like a real off-putter. So I'd potentially wait on the defensive transfer and just wait and see who he thinks. You know, if you can go Dallas, you don't have him, then great, someone like that. Because Reguilon is a nice player to have on like a free hit, or you need him for 1 week, but long term he's always going to be that bit of a problem. Players to target for this week. Now I was looking at this, I was thinking, right, if I look at the players for this weekend, who do we think, and put it in the chat, who do you think are going to be the top scoring players this week? Like, it's quite hard to pull out who I think, I don't have him. I think that's going to really damage my rank. I just don't see like anyone particularly. Now you've got the City guys, so I don't have De Bruyne and I don't have Sterling. And okay, if one of them goes crazy, then Reguilon, sorry. Thanks, Paul. But there's no one that I'm... Who do you guys fear this week that you don't own? KDB, Ings, yeah, I suppose, but Ings' second game week is still away at City, so Cancelo, yeah, I suppose it depends what City triple up you get. If you don't have the right three and one of them hauls that you don't have, then it puts you in. Saka, potentially, but no one really owns those Arsenal players. Salah is an interesting one. You got to expect Liverpool to put up a result at some point. Sonny, Kane, yeah, you see, Antonio is a big one for me. Now, the Leeds defence, we know what they're like. We know how bad they're capable of being. So, yeah, Antonio is a big one that I don't have, that I'm a bit worried on. I am considering Jota, but I want to see some starts from him before I go anywhere near buying him. So I wouldn't be touching him at the moment. Aguero, I don't expect him to play both. KDB will play 90 and 30. So him you fear the most. Kufal or Dallas for this week. I'd probably play Dallas because of that attacking threat. But like, if you look at it, there's no game that you think that's going to haul and I don't own them. The only one is the people who potentially have sold Salah. And then they're looking at it thinking, okay, maybe Fulham at home, Salah could get something from that. But it feels a bit of a bland week for me. Now, I'll probably end up on a massive red arrow and think, okay, great, look what's happened. Antonio is the big one for me that I don't own that could definitely impact my rank. But yeah, Leeds, you don't know what Leeds are going to turn up. Is Forster nailed? I don't think nailed, but I expect him to play both games in Game Week 29. Thoughts on Mount after Game Week 29? Yeah. Why is anyone talking about Newcastle attackers? Because they never score any goals and they've got injuries to Almiron and St Maximin. I don't know what our Newcastle predicted lineup was, but it's not good. I can remember that. Like, you can if you can look at that team and you think they're going to score anything more than one goal, then if you think there's attacking threat, they might get a couple of goals, one from a set piece or something like that. But like, yeah, I don't think anyone's really looking at. I think if anything, those injuries mean that Brighton players in Game Week 29 are become more appealing. I think definitely a Brighton defender for Game Week 29. So if I just talk you through, it might be quite interesting to see what I'm trying to do with Game Week 29. So my next three transfers will all be Game Week 29 player, Game Week 29 player, Game Week 29 player, because I'm not free hitting. So for anyone on free hitting, I apologise if this is a bit not what you're aiming for. But so I know Dallas will be coming in. I'm not going into another game week like that not owning Dallas. Dunk, I know Dunk will come in. I know Rafinha will come in. I don't know who's going to go. Game week 30, they're away at Arsenal, and then our wild card can bring it back in. It may be Salah that I ditch for Rafinha. And then this gives me 10. So one goalkeeper, either one, which I decide to play. Konza, Dallas, Dunk. Then Rafinha, Son, Lookman. So I basically got a 3-3-3. And then it's if I decide to take a -4 to do another one on top of this. Now the players left, I've got a lot of value tied up in. Veltman's an interesting one instead of Dunk. Yeah, Nuclear, I like that. It's just Lamptey, how quickly he can come back from his other setback. But if you just need him for 29 and we know that Lamptey's not going to be back, then I like Veltman a lot. Bruno to Son this week, yeah. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't love selling Bruno and it could backfire, but yeah. Tierney or Dallas long term. Dallas definitely. Playing that centre mid role. Leeds will keep going to the end of the season. So yeah, definitely Dallas for me. -4 for Ings instead of Harrison. Potentially. Yeah, I think he'd outscore him by 4 this week. Is Gundogan a better captain than Diaz because Henderson is in goalkeeper? I don't necessarily think it impacts United that much, if I'm honest. I'd still captain Gundogan either way. That's what I'm doing. You've Wan-Bissaka to Reguilon. Interesting. United defenders have been a pain for me recently, so good to see a few people selling them. Cancelo or Diaz for this week? It's a bit like when people ask me on Kane or Son. Kane for 1 week, Son long term. So Cancelo, he's always got that explosive. I'd have to go Diaz just because I think he's likely to play both this week. So Schuschmidt, I'd have to go Dallas out of the two of them. Helmer, thank you for subscribing. So as always, new subscribers, depending on what your privacy settings are, you may get a little bit of a shout out as well there. So yeah, appreciate anyone subscribing during the stream. Thank you very much. How much do I think Diaz will be next year? 7. No reason that he's less than 7. I think 7's fair. Rafinha or Lings for this week? Rafinha. Barnes to Lookman. Yeah, I own Lookman. I don't love him. He hasn't done loads for me. Scored 1. Have I put up? Yes. So my pin tweet. Yeah, so Lookman is a bit of a filler. He's fine if you've got that, but there are others that I prefer for that double game week. So Southampton. Let me pull that up for you. Well, I missed Southampton. Brilliant. Let me go and just add that in. Let me just go and add the Southampton one in, which I seem to have missed out. I'll just add it at the end, and then I will show you it. Sorry, 1 sec. Let me just post this. Cool. Now I can bring it back up for you. DCL or Cresswell on the bench? That's really tough. I'd probably just favour benching DCL. Now I can pull up Southampton. It will just be at the end, but so that's what we've got for the two. Hope you can. The right wing, 4-4-2 in 1 and a 5 at the back potentially against Sheffield United. As players return, Minamino coming back from injury, we switch to a 4 at the back against City. Start DCL or Fernandes. Fernandes for me. -4 for Kane and Rafinha in for Bruno and Bamford out. Selling Bamford, I don't love. The duo that you bring in is better than the duo you sell, but I don't love selling Bamford. Do you not have other forwards that you could potentially sell? Who would I replace for Barnes? Rafinha, if you don't have him. If not, then Lingard, the 2 replacements I have in him. Start Aina or Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin, definitely. McCarthy or Martinez, since Foster. Yeah, I'd start Martinez. When should I use my triple captainship? So, I did consider playing it this week. Do you think it's crazy? Do you think it's... I think I'm doing something crazy by playing it this week. Let's zoom in. You can't quite see that very well, can you? That's better for you all. I have considered playing it this week on Gundogan. There is too much of a rotation threat for me to do it this week. KDB is definitely a good captain, but KDB's first in my captaincy ranking, Gundogan second. I have considered playing it this week. I think I'll probably wait for Spurs to double again and put it on Kane or Son. I think it's game week 32 that they're going to double. They could double. It could be 37 as well. But yeah, I'd wait and do it for them. Bruno to Lingard and DCL to Kane. Bruno to Lingard and DCL to Kane. Yeah, doubles I like. Yeah, too much rotation, because he's going to play the United game, and he could easily be benched in the Southampton game, and I don't trust it enough to put my captaincy there. Dennis Shaw in for Bale or DCL. Dennis Shaw in for Bale or DCL. I don't quite know what that question means, but what midfield transfer would I make if I had to in Game Week 28? I'd bring in, Rafinha. Into my team, I'd bring Rafinha in and have him for the next game week. Best keeper for the next few game weeks. So we're going to go back on Fantasy Football Hub and just have a look at their fixture ticker. Put it to defensive. We have a look for the next few. It depends if you need them for game week. If you need them for game week 29, then you look at Newcastle. You look at Martinez. If you need him for game week 29, you look at potentially the Brighton goalkeeper as well. If you don't, then Mendy. These ones then rank top for the best defensive difficulty. So depends if you need him for game week 29. If you do, then you look down at the ones that play, and then you see who has the best ranking. Depends how many game weeks you need him. Game week 30 to 38, I am pulling that out. I've got a tweet to go up later about the change in ranking. So if we go just at the last few, easiest fixtures, you've got West Ham, Leeds topping it. Then you've got the likes of Leicester, Villa. Villa's a really interesting one. Villa is a really interesting one that they have such poor fixtures at the end of the season. Everton, United, Palace, Spurs, Chelsea, all of which could have something to play for apart from Palace. So I think we'll see a big sell-off in Villa players. Like, I will, when I wildcard in game week, after game week 30 into 31, I will probably have no Aston Villa players in my team. 30 to 38, if they double in 28, that means they don't have a double game week either to bring back in, then I will probably wildcard out all my Villa players and go with something different. I know they're good value, but there's just going to be better point scorers over that run. I once said then, no one is good enough to triple captain yet. Anyone good enough now? It's just a rotation risk on City that I don't like. No Villa players after 30. They'll spank Liverpool another 7. I doubt that, but potentially. I may go with 1, but I just think there's better options. Like, if you look at the fixture ticker, right? Okay, if we push this back to game week 31, and we go the best attacking fixtures, bear in mind that I'm free hitting in game week 33. West Ham, great. Antonio in. Take out Chelsea, it pushes them up the rankings even more. Leeds is a bit more tough until you get into that final. Sorry, that's defensive, that's why. Got West Ham up there. There's definitely better forwards that you can have. So Cancelo captain, big chance he misses a game, but I can't bring myself to captain a non-City player. I agree. I don't see why, I'd take the risk on Cancelo, Diaz, Gundogan, De Bruyne, any of the 4. I'd put my captaincy on before I touch any of the others. Cancelo versus Kane's an interesting one, but yeah. You didn't predict Foden to start both. I can't remember. Let's have a look. So we have Foden starting 1. I think it's a pretty 50-50 call, to be honest, but yeah. We have him only starting 1 at the moment. Am I trusting Arsenal players? So if I bring one in, I could go Maverick and bring in Aubameyang for this weekend. Now, if I don't and he scores a hat-trick, then yeah, great. I'm going to be kicking myself. But do I just go with keeping Fernandes at the moment? What are his transfers in and out like this week? I don't know if we can see here. We can't. Let's have a look at the most transferred in. Transferred out. Where is it? Guys, 150 of you in here. thanks a lot. If we could just get 25 more likes and push it over 100, it would be great. Still plenty of time left on the stream, but yeah, if you could just hit that like button, bump it right up to 100. Yeah, it'd be great. Just 20 more needed. So Fernandez, you know, a massive 140k sales for him. Any transfers in for him? Like none at all. So his ownership will be lower this week. It will be getting back to the point where I want him to return. Now I'll have double City defence, so I probably still won't want him to return. But yeah, I just don't. I know people are benching him and selling him. I can understand why. I'm not, though. It's just not. Yeah. You might go Bale. If you, Son and Kane for me come first above Bale in the Spurs pecking order. Mount really up there. Chelsea's fixtures over the next few are really nice, up until about game week 32. So definitely worth looking at. My transfers have to be focused on 29, hence why I'm not buying one. But yeah, I may well look at one in game week 30. You know, West Brom at home. Who else? What are the other fixtures in that game week? It's very zoomed in now. There we go. So game week 30, while Chelsea play there. Leeds also have a great fixture. Villa also have a great fixture. Where are they? Home to Fulham. And then my other forward is Kane. Again, Newcastle away. So I'm not really going to be looking to bring on. I could go Werner, but I could, potentially look at selling one of my midfielders just for 1 week or something. Potentially, Salah out or Aubameyang out, to Mount or something like that. But yeah. Bench Bamford. That explanation was Michael Scott-esque. I don't even know what I was explaining. Barkley to someone who plays in game at 29 or just... Well, I don't know if we're predicting... Do we think he's going to start? I think he'll probably start this week. I think that's what we predicted. Yeah. If you can do him to Rafinha for free, then I'd probably do that transfer. I probably would. Right, so... I know a lot of you have got questions I probably haven't answered, so let's do a bit of a quick fire round of questions. So if you've got questions, drop them in the chat right now and I will do quick fire ones. So bench Dallas or Shaw or Loughton. If I had to bench one, let me get the fixtures up for this week just before I start answering these questions. I'd bench Luke Shaw. Is 8 enough for game at 29? Yes. Which defenders would I bring in for game at 29? Veltman, Dunk are my two main targets for that Brighton defence. Captain Sterling or Gundogan? Gundogan for me. Bench Fernandez or DCL? DCL. KDB in for Stones and Bruno. Who is the defender you're bringing in? Presumably you have to... Is that a -4 as well? Let me have a bit more information. Antonio or Watkins to play this week? Antonio. Dallas, Konza, Dean, bench one. Luka Dean. Sterling or Kane, captain. Got to go with Sterling there. Best player to bring in this week. If I could pick one, it would be De Bruyne. Bruno out for Aubameyang, Son or Bale. Son, if you don't have him. Play Luka Dean, Rudiger or DCL. I would... If I had to play one, I'd probably play Rudiger. That's tough. Maybe DCL in those three. Start Target and Areola or Target and Emmy. Target and I'd probably go Emmy Martinez. You think Alonso gonna play or go Aspi? I'd go Aspi definitely. Bench Fernandez or Richarlison. Richarlison, best defender for blank game week 29, Dunk or Veltman, both of Brighton. Bench Bamford or Mount. I wouldn't want to bench either of them. Find a way to start them both. I don't know who else is in your team, but yeah. Coke or Fanta, depends on the day, but Coke normally. For game week 29, Rafinha or Dunk. For game week 29, Rafinha or Dunk, I would go with... If I had to, you could only own one, I'd still go Rafinha. Triple captain Gundogan. It's too much of a rotation risk this week. Bench DCL or Bamford. I would go with... I'd bench DCL for sure. Just a bit of a breather. We're going to get some more of these done. Let me have a drink. We need 6 likes for 100. For all these quick fire questions, 6 of you who've asked a question, I'm sure I haven't liked the stream. So just go and hit that right now and we'll get back into continuing with it. Cool. Bruno to Son and Barnes to Lingard for a hit. Guys, you can ask non-FPL questions as well as you want, like the Fanta Coke one. But Bruno to Son and Barnes to Lingard for a hit. Yes, I would do that. Captain Son or Stones. Must have other City players you can captain. You must have other City players you can captain. I could put them in for a Southampton player maybe. I don't know what the original was to that. Chelsea getting top 4. Yes. I would like if you answer KDB and Dunk in for Stones and Bruno. Yeah, I don't love it this week. If you've got another defender player with a Dunk this week, then yes. If I could have one, Simply FPL's charm or Simply FPL's looks. I'm gonna go with his quick-witted banter. Is what I'm gonna pick. Option number 3. Pizza. No, it is Chinese tonight. Cancelo or Gundogan for cap this week. Gundo for me. Bench boost this week. Telling you I don't have it anymore, but if you've got it and you've got strong stuff on your bench like West Ham or Leeds players, then go for it. Captain one of these: Edison, Diaz, Sterling or Kane. Diaz for me. Favourite takeaway, definitely pizza, Domino's. Gundogan likely to start both. I think he will. He's my captain. Am I good at maths? Yeah, I did at A-level actually. Got an A in it at A-level, so make of that what you want. Keep it together, lad. It's too much. Best defender bring in for the next few weeks, not including City. If you need him for 29, it's still Dunk for me. Love a pepperoni. You got 148. Wow, nice work. You think Sterling will start both? It's pretty tight. Probably. Let's have a look what we're predicting. Where am I from? If you need lineups, guys, go to my predicted lineup thread if you want to know if players are going to start or not. First thing, go to the pub, go out for dinner. Those are the first things. My team. Those are the first things I'm going to do. I live in London. Good decision to bring in KDB for these next 2. Yeah, if you can afford him, if you've got a spare City spot. Fish and chips or pizza. Pizza, where am I from? London. Zaha best diver in the league. Will De Bruyne start both games? Look at my predicted lineup thread. I can't remember exactly what we're predicting. You don't think Sterling will start against United? Looking at his stats against them. But then if he starts against Southampton, that's the best outcome. Cool. Mahrez for captain. I don't think we'll start both. Favourite holiday destination. I love skiing. Haven't been in a long time. But yeah, definitely. Who to take out? Cancelo or Diaz? Cancelo. Favourite player? Mason Mount or Billy Gilmore? I absolutely love Billy Gilmore. I love him so much. Play Dean, DCL or Rafinha. Rafinha for me. Bench 2 Everton players. And I think we're going to call that a wrap. Tierney for 29. Yeah, I expect West Ham to score though. Cool. Well, I'm going to go and decide on what takeaway I'm going to get. The Lallana looks for Simply FPL. I like Halloumi a lot. 7 more minutes. I've got to go and decide on what takeaway I'm having and what I want. A little bit of sweet and sour, maybe some chicken chow mein, little banana fritter for the ending. Can't wait. Start Kufal or Dallas. I do love an Indian as well, but I had like a curry on Thursday that we made ourselves. So yeah, going Chinese. Cool, but that's all we got time for, guys. If you please just, drop a like before you head out. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Turn on notifications for these live streams as well. There may be one tomorrow morning, depending on what my stuff is. Nice jumper, thank you. It's got a picture of a sloth on that says Sunday Club. But yeah, hope you guys, if I haven't answered your question, my DMs on Twitter are open. The stats and everything have come from Fantasy Football Hub. The pinned link in the stream will give you 15% off. It starts from just £1.70 a month, so go and check it out. But yeah, that's sort of all we've got time for. I hope you found it useful. Drop a like on the stream. Subscribe if you are new. Go and message me over on Twitter as well if you've got questions. But I will see you all next time. Thanks all. Goodbye.